Hi, so good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to today's Thursday's live. I am Denise Armenio, and I have Claire McIntyre here. And we're here to run a Genius demo scan on a volunteer today. If anybody would like to volunteer, I don't have one as of yet. So just give a shout out below and let me know if you're interested in working on anything.
Oh, I fucked it up.
Oops.
Is anybody, what do we have? I see some new faces here. And welcome, Dr. Trina. Good to see you. Hear you. I don't actually see everybody's faces right now, but we hear. So, okay. Oh, Colette. Yes. Hi. Let me unmute you. So are you here, Colette? I can't.
I am here.
Oh,
I just
great.
turned on my video, so you should be able to see me now.
Oh, there you are. Hi. It took a while for the person speaking to show. So hello. So thank you for volunteering.
You're welcome.
And what would you like to work with today?
Expanding my aura.
Expanding your aura.
Yeah, that's really what I want to focus on.
Okay.
Strengthening it, expanding it.
Do you have any like how would you rate how you're feeling like today?
Sure.
0 to 10.
Okay. I would say I'm a 7. And I have some lingering let's call them effects of Omicron, which I was dealing with earlier this month. So I'm still feeling stuff in the sinuses and in the chest and in the throat that are annoying, but not the kind of thing that, you know, I can't.
Well, we can work on respiratory issues or in there to help alleviate some of that. And anything else?
Nope. Oh, pain. Yeah. Got stuff going on with my spine.
Your spine. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, the neck, the sacrum, and my left elbow. It's like I've got tennis elbow. So if those things, if we could work on those, that would be a bonus.
Okay. And what is your pain level? A 10 being severe.
Oh, I would say it's more annoying. It's probably a 5.
Okay.
And it's a jabby, stabby pain. So it doesn't always, right?
Okay. But that's what you're feeling it today is a 5.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And yes, everybody just needs to be muted. I know that Claire just sent that note, but there is a little feedback. So not you, Colette. We can leave you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to start by filling in your information on this first page. So let me just. And is your last name how it appears for Zoom?
It does. It is.
Okay, and you're female.
October 9th of 1960.
Okay, so we have all your information here. And we have a female, so I'm just going to hit next. And I don't usually use this, but I'm just going to fill it out today just because for anybody that's practitioners, it is maybe a good thing to fill this out just so that if anybody asks why you were working on anybody, you have a reason that you were working on them. So I'm just going to put in here very general back and neck pain, and whoopsies. I don't know why it's respiratory issues and Pandora. Okay, so I put that in and I'm going to hit begin down on the bottom. And now that once I enter that, then you're going to have that client as a user in your database. So you won't have to add that information in all the time. I'm going to just start by taking a quick screenshot here of you, Colette. And we'll add that into my photos.
I hope I wasn't blinking.
It's fine if you are.
That's just vanity speaking.
So now I'm just going to ask you, I'll count you down. I'll say 3, 2, 1, begin. And at that point, if you just say your full name and then repeat the vowels A, E, I, O, U repeatedly until the 15 seconds is up. Okay.
Can I say what I typically say with my own practitioner? Or do you want me to just repeat A, E, I, O, U over and over again?
What do you normally say with your practitioner?
I am a radiant being of light here on purpose in the service of love, joy, and laughter.
Okay.
Nice.
You can definitely say that. I would still love to hear you say your name and
Oh,
the
yes.
vowel.
No, that's usually what I do. I start.
And saying the vowels is really important as far as when you get the voice format. So there's a purpose to it, not just to fill up that space. Okay.
Okay.
So 3, 2, 1, begin.
Kalatariu, A, E, I, O, U, radiant being of light, here on purpose, in the service of love, light, joy, and freedom.
Great. Okay, so now we have that, and down on the bottom left, you see voice harmonics. You can't hear it very well on the Zoom, but this is actually what you just recorded, and the genius has turned it into a frequency, and it's usually a very low frequency, and that's why it's hard to hear. But I would recommend everybody use that in their session before they move on to the next screen. I'll just hit it here, but I'm not sure if you could hear it.
I can hear it.
Okay, good. Okay, and now we're just going to hit next on the bottom right. So before I hit continue here, I just wanted to point out to everybody, in case you didn't notice it, that on the upper right corner, there's that blue like oval or circle. Well, it's not a circle, but it says import quanta profile. So anybody who has clients that are using the quanta capsule, and they've uploaded their photo and their audio clip to their quanta capsule, this is where you would click, and then it would prompt you to add their email, and then all the information would populate. So it's really handy. And you would obviously do that. You wouldn't take then the audio clip from here. It would just go in directly from the quanta capsule. So I just wanted to mention that in case there's anybody that's hasn't seen that. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit continue and move on. And I can click on this image here so we can collect your picture, which I've already stored. And there you are. And you're not blinking.
Yay!
I'm just going to begin analysis here. we hit continue. Now, is there an affirmation you would like?
Sure. Joy, comma, unity, freedom, love, I am.
I'm assuming you do your capital
Yes.
letters.
Excuse me, Denise, I'm having a hard time hearing you. I don't know if it's just me. I can hear Colette, okay, but not you.
Can everybody else hear me? Colette, are you having an issue hearing me?
You're a bit soft spoken, so maybe just need to be closer to the mic.
Almost as if your
Colette?
volume's down a little.
I have the
Colette's really
volume
loud,
way
but
up.
you're quiet. Yeah.
Okay.
Am I too loud?
I'm not sure. I haven't had, I don't know. Is everybody, am I not? I have my volume all the way up.
That
That's-
sounds a bit better. Yeah.
Okay. I just don't want to scream in your ears. So thank you for telling me though. Okay. So now we're on the system overview page. So anybody who is doing a trial, this is what it will look like for you. You'll see the different categories that we have here: biofield, body, and mind. For those that have already purchased the Genius and have received libraries or created their own, you will see a banner that goes across that says libraries. And I'm actually going to add my libraries right now to Colette as the user. And I do that by going up to these 3 bars on the top. We call them the navigation bars, or sometimes we might say go to your back office, and that's what we're referring to when we say that. And I'm going to go to libraries, and on the bottom it says add to client. So I will click on that, and then I'm just going to hit select all and OK. And now I can back arrow, and now you can see that all the libraries are added to this client. So we can hit begin analysis now. And so now the Genius has analyzed everything except the libraries, and that we will do in a little bit, but it has analyzed the 3 different categories. And also the other thing to note is that when the Genius does do the analysis, it orders in the order of priority. So the Genius is telling us that Colette's biofield has the biggest disturbance, which is really quite ironic given that you want to work on your auric field. So it agrees with you. The next area to work on would be your body. Then something from libraries. Within my libraries, it's showing disturbance, and then the mind lastly. So now before we get started, let's just go grab and get your aura picture. So we do that by clicking on this line for aura, and it allows us to begin analysis. So I'm just going to click on that. Okay, let me just take a picture here. So what I look for when I look at these auras is for bright, vibrant colors. And the colors that are represented or that we see on these auras are the colors of the chakras. So there are 7 different chakras that would be represented by the colors. Now, it doesn't mean there's going to be all different tones, and different screens are going to have, the way the color comes across on the screens is going to be a little bit different on every one, but basically I focus on seeing bright, vibrant colors. So when I see pale colors or like colors that look a little dirty, like just a mix of colors, to me, that's telling me that there's stagnant energy. So that's really would be the focus, is to break that stagnant energy so that you have flow. And that stagnant energy isn't blocking anything. So that would be what I would look to help you with today. So I'm just going to go back now to the main screen and explain what these numbers on the right means now. So the Genius uses a value system. So the numerals go from 0 to 777. 0 to 100 is represented by the color blue. So in this case, we can look at sacred geometry. The value is 85. It falls within that 0 to 100 range. And in that range, or the blue color, it's observed to be more chronic energetic disturbances. So you've had those disturbances for a longer period of time. And in Chinese medicine, they may also refer to that as stagnant energy. From 101 to 450 is represented by the color green. Then from there, you go from 451 to about 688 is represented by the color yellow. And then from 689 to 777 is the color red. It's represented by the color red. And those would be our acute energetic disturbances. So energetic disturbances that are happening now, more in the present. So that could be your, it's possible that you could be absorbing energy from people that you're working with or family members that you're living with. It doesn't necessarily mean that that it's influx. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a chronic disturbance, but it's just there to tell you that it may be something that you want to clear. And in Chinese medicine, these energetic disturbances would also be considered like heat or inflammation. So there's just a little, I like to point out about it being absorbing energies, because sometimes we can look, for example, at emotions. And if we're around people that are upset and we're on the more empathetic side, we can absorb those emotions. So you might look at them and say, I'm not feeling that. And that may be why. So then what else do I want to tell you? Also, what we like to look at is on areas that we are focusing on, values that are 600 and above, which is going to include some yellow values, and then 200 and below, which will also include some green values. We like to add those to the main hold tray so that we can work on those and make sure we're not leaving out any issues, because often we've found that when we run the progressive insights, some of those yellows or greens might turn into a high, and we don't want to miss anything. The next thing I'd like you to look at is on the left-hand side. You can see these little arrows, and that's just information telling you that you can go a level deeper. So in other words, you can see these like an accordion or down arrows. And if I were to hit on click on that line, it brings you to another page that's showing you all the different solfeggio tones, not just the title for it. What else do I want to show you here today? So what I like to do when I do my scans, what I always like to start out with is to go into the system. If you click on this system overview, it will bring you to a general overview. And what the general overview will do is it's showing you everything on that system overview page, but it's like you, as if you opened up and went that level deeper and it's expanded. and then it reorders everything in numerical order. So you can see all your highs or all your lows. So let's just begin analysis here. And this line on the right-hand side is your timer. So I'm just going to click on that yellow circle and bring it up to the top. And if I click it once more, it's going to change it to 0 minutes. I like putting it on 0 minutes. It allows me to work with increments that are less than 1 minute, or you can work with someone 1 minute and 20 seconds. It will run as long until you stop it yourself. So, and it will also give you the average percent rectification on the bottom. Whereas if you were to select 1 minute, and you get that just by dragging the little ball down. So if I just dragged it a little bit, if it was 1 minute and you stopped the frequencies from running before that time, the Genius would not give you a percent rectification. So I'm just going to put it back to 0. And now I'm going to do a quick balance for you. And here you can see that the conception vessel meridian is high, as well as stomach 33, your bladder 0.61. It's showing sensitivities to dust, hormones, melatonin, tones in general. So when it's a general or the broad view, it could just be picking up the frequency that is the conception vessel. So it's not identifying a specific point, but maybe it's just more broad. So we can always look at that when we get to that part. But for right now, I'm just going to run everything here. And in case you want to look at what the blues were, which is going to show you where there's a disturbance at a more chronic level. It's your stomach 11, depression, gallbladder 0.36, triple heater 18, governing vessel 19. So you can see that there's you have a lot of different meridian points that have been off more chronically. So that might also be contributing to your aura and everything not functioning 100%. So often when I'm running these screen shares with Zoom, it doesn't give me the percent rectification. I don't know why, but maybe when I go back to the other screen, it will. But and it's still not. It's not. I really love using that screen because you're working with so many of the items in this main front page that even if you don't go and look at all the individual lines themselves, you still have worked with everything that's been red and blue. So it's a really big help. It's also, if you don't have a lot of time and you just want to run everything that is showing red and blue, you can do that really easily. So the next thing I want to look at, and this is actually a little bit different. I haven't mentioned this before, but I was talking to a friend yesterday who has suggested doing this, and that's to run your minerals So I'm just going to add all the minerals here for just a moment. It's kind of like a primer. It kind of like primes your body. And I'm also going to add from the spiritual protection grounding. And it just helps open you up to get everything moving a little bit. So I'm just going to run this from the main hold tray for just a few seconds. And I'm going to put it down to 0 and just select all. There's no right or wrong in anything that you do here, so don't be nervous if you don't remember exactly what I did. You kind of find your own way and use your intuition, which will really help guide you. Okay, so that we did that, and I'm going to now go to the main page here. Now I am going to clear out these. I can always add some of those back later. And I'm going to look at spiritual protection for you, which again is an area that I like to work on a lot. And I am going to also add all of these as well. And I'll just run this for this would be really important for you, Colette, to strengthen your aura, is to work with the spiritual protection a lot. Yeah, Peter, I'm glad you like the graphics. You can add those. It's an additional purchase, but you can, it's the 3D graphics. So I'm glad you like them. You're welcome. Okay. So now I'm just going to go back out. I am going to leave those in the main hold tray. And so then we can look here at vegeotones, which are red. And we can add the ones that are red. And I'm going to add these two on the bottom that are below 200, as well as add 528 hertz. And that's for miracles and transformation. So I always add those. Meridians, the conception vessel and the governing meridian, I always work on too. Those are your two main meridians on the front of your body and the back of your body. So for you, Colette, I'm going to make sure we're adding the first point, which is here, and CB24. Well, let's add the reds. And here's 24. Oh, they were right next to each other. In blue, and I'm going to go to your governing meridian as well. And we can add the reds and blues as well as the first and last point. And again, I'm targeting these a little bit more because of you wanting to expand your aura. I just want to make sure all these energetic areas in your biofield are hopefully working as they should be. we already, whoops. We looked at the spiritual protection. So then there's the Nogiers. And the Nogiers are similar to Sveggio tones, except that where the Sveggio tones are more spiritual in the areas that they're working with, the Nogiers are the frequencies of your glands and organs. And they kind of act as like the frequencies are similar to being like they're a fingerprint for them. So if they're not 100% balanced, that frequency is going to be off. So let's just add F. And I just need to get my sheets here so I can tell you what that. The Nogier F is for emotional harmony, bone healing, and hormones. G and A are universal frequencies. G is brain function, scar tissue, inflammation, and A is energy, eyes, post-surgery, and wounds. So we can add those. We could also add in C since it's below the 200 there. Chakras, we'll add what's the reds, the blues. And then here is the sacred geometry. And again, I'll add just the reds and the blues here. And the blues included circle, square root, point. And we could also add the Fibonacci's as well. Okay, so we worked through most of your biofield and collecting some of that information. So now we can look at the body. And the thing that I like to look at first when we go into here is today's stress, just to give us a little idea of what's going on. So we see the virus, liver, and lymphatics. And then on the bottom, we have bacteria and infection. And sorry, guys, I need some water here.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got like a tickle. So we can look at those, and I'm going to add inflammation because you mentioned the pain that you have in your back and in your elbow. And we could also add immune system. Digestion, I always like to add digestion, your gut. That's like a second brain. So really important to pay attention to what's going on. So I just added what was 600 and above and 200 and below here. The other thing we could look at is your body systems, digestive, we can add that. Skeletal, so that might explain a little bit of what's going on with your spine. And what else I want to add in the spinal energy here. And so spinal energy, you have your cervical spine. So we have all the vertebrae here and they're listed in order on the left. But if you'd like to see them on all the reds, yellows, greens, blues listed together, you can just tap on this high to low. And I would add the reds and the blues as well as those that are 600 and above. Now, just to look at the coccyx here, which is showing what's off for you right now. Well, that's an obvious of what's off is on the base of your spine. And I could harmonize the spine for hemorrhoids, pain at the end of the spine upon sitting. So do you have any discomfort when you're sitting?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then the emotion connection for that is sitting on old pain or out of balance. We can also then look at the ones that are below 200. And I believe I've added the blues. And so cervical 2, which has been more chronically out of balance, that is the body connection for the eyes, ears, and sinuses, tongue, forehead, optic nerve, auditory nerve. It also will harmonize the spine for sinusitis, earaches, vision problems, hearing problems, and the emotion connection for that is resentment and blame. So maybe that's why you still have a little bit of some lingering issues in the respiratory area. So I'm going to move on from here. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm going to add manganese, and I'm going to add in zinc and lithium. And we could add these blue minerals as well. Okay, so now the next area would be libraries, and we'll get to that in just a moment. I'm just going to finish here on the mind. And I always like to address emotions and the Bach flower essences. So we can add in these reds and the blues, as well as the Bach flower essences, the reds and the blues. And if we can just tell you what chestnut means here. So chestnut bud, the meaning for this flower essence is desiring to learn from past mistakes, wanting to break from past patterns, brings forth soul forces that are still dormant and birth them into the world, a new career and direction. So I don't know if that resonates for you or not, but that's what we're seeing right now. We could also look at rock water, which is one that would be more chronic. And rock water is released hardened soul forces, break up old patterns held in the fascia and the muscles. So feel flexible and light. So hopefully working with that as well will help with some of your other areas. Okay, so now we can get into libraries. And I'm going to hit begin analysis here. Also, Colette, in the spiritual protection, there's the one line that's for auric protection. So you'll want to work with that one.
Where are you finding the definitions, or like for chestnut and for the rock water? Where did that come from? Where does that come
There
from?
are success cards. So depending on, you can purchase these,
Okay.
but you can also Google it. I also think that they're in the manual.
Okay, I'll check.
They
So-
are going to be coming out with a new release as well, so that's quite exciting.
So
there's
yeah,
gonna
so
be
you'll be able
information.
to see the meanings for those in the manual. So
Okay.
it's forthcoming soon. We're working on it. Is someone received any of the? Peter, I'll get back to you on 1 second. I'm not really sure what you're asking there. So 1 second. I am going to look at, it was, let's work on some muscles. So your back and neck is showing that it's been off. So let's add those. And I also want to go to pain. And I like, so we could look at the pain assessment for location. So it says muscular aches in general. You have any knee issues? You do? Okay.
That's pretty chronic. So I didn't even mention it.
Well, it's showing neck, right arm pain. Which arm did
No,
you say was
it's actually left elbow.
left elbow?
Interesting.
Well, sometimes like you use one more when the other is off. So
Right,
sometimes
that makes
that's
sense.
why,
Yeah.
so let me just add the reds and the greens. Add information. And was it your left? Oh, is it both knees?
Yeah, it's both knees. Is TMJ showing up in there? Oh, yes, there it is.
Well, it's 550, but I'll put it in if that's
Yeah, put it in. It's chronic for me.
okay. And let's just go to, I like using the right frequencies for pain. So I'm just going to add the reds and the blues in here as well.
Does the manual cover the right frequencies, like what they're for? Or is that a separate thing?
What the right frequencies are for? Well, there are different frequencies that have been found to help with, so like frequencies 660 hertz has been found to help with hip pain. So
Okay.
that's what, I don't know if I'm answering your.
You are. I just am looking for a list of the frequencies and what they align with.
Oh.
Is that in the manual?
Google has like
Google
you can
again?
get the
Okay.
whole list of right frequencies. It's expansive, like it's a lot.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So I've added that. Oops, I didn't mean to get out of here. I wanted to look at joints. And here. Let's look at respiratory. Or so let's add these blue ones. And so hopefully these will help with your lingering symptoms.
And these are your libraries, correct?
Yes, they are. So I do work with some of them that are purchased, but some of them are some I've created or that friends have sent me.
Right.
The other thing, let's just see what we have for aura. I'm going to trying to think. I want to run this actually. Let's do some of these essences in here for you. And I'm going to run these for a minute. I'm going to run all of them.
Okay.
And then we'll rescan them afterwards. After we run these for a minute, I'll rescan, run them for a minute again, and then 3 minutes, and we'll see
Okay.
how you're doing here. I like like to see a percent rectification of 40% and higher. Sometimes that's not always possible, but hopefully. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I left it on 0, but it did go for 1 minute and it was
Okay,
45% rectification. So that's really great. Let me just
good.
move it to 1 minute. I'm going to rescan. And I'm going to hit all again. And I believe if not everyone is paying attention to the chat, that Claire just added the link for right frequencies. So if
Oh.
anybody wants to go in and grab that, they can.
Thanks, Claire.
All right, so 44% rectification again. That's really great. So I'm going to rescan it and I'm going to then just add the highs and run that for 3 minutes. And I am going to be right back. I just have to go grab something while this is running. I'll be right there.
Okay.
Never seen that one come in before.
Which one? These chakras?
Yeah, those were pretty cool.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Colette?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, lighter and actually feeling the chakras kind of getting energized.
Awesome. You want to move your elbow around a little bit, see how that's doing.
It's less stiff.
Okay, so you had 42% rectification. So you really did really well in all the rectifications. They were all above 40%. So I'm
Great.
super happy with that. Let's go back and look at what your aura looks like. And see if there's any adjustments we may want to make with this.
Ooh.
So there's a change there. I would still say it's still showing. It's still pale. So I'm going to try using the Alaskan gems, which if you've watched this every week, you know I love them. And I'm just going to run these on a quick balance. See if we can
And is that one of your libraries then?
Yes, it
Alaskan
is.
Gems? Okay.
It's not on. If you wanted to contact me directly, you can contact
Okay.
me. I haven't.
Sure.
That hasn't been posted, but you can. So let's see now how your aura is looking.
Oh,
So
that's
it's starting,
better.
yeah, it's starting to brighten up quite a bit. So that's good. You have a nice little rainbow of colors in there.
Yeah.
So this is a demo. If it wasn't, we can try running that a little bit more to see if it
No,
brings
that's
more
good.
intensity. But
Thank you so much, Denise.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So how are you feeling? How would you rate your overall feeling of well-being now? It was a 7, I think, when we started.
Yeah. I'd say it's a 9. I feel energized actually. I
Oh,
can
you mean,
sort of,
I say 9 like like severe. So do you
okay.
mean you're
I'm a 2.
7
So,
like
okay. I'm feeling energy coursing through my body. Like I can actually feel it flowing. So that's a great, like I'm getting skin tingles and I can feel energy up and down my spine. So that's really good news. Down to the soles of my feet.
Well, that's great. So I'm really glad that you're having that. Try using the minerals as a primer.
I've written that as a, that's a great tip. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And so move around. How's your spine feel? You're sitting. Is that still sore for you?
No, actually it's more comfortable for sure. I'm sitting right now. It's a little tightness there, but there's no pain when I tighten up. So that's made a difference.
Well,
I've taken good notes here. So
well, good.
And I'll
Now, do you
rewatch
have
those.
a QuantiCap yourself?
Yes.
Would you like me to send these frequencies
Sure.
to you?
Yeah. You have my email address? Or do you want it right now?
You're going to give it to me. 1 second. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great.
So I'm going to share it. And okay, what is it?
So COLETTE ORIEUX the digit 1 at gmail.com. That's a bonus. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I am so glad that you're feeling better, and it was a pleasure to have everybody here today, and look forward to seeing everybody next Thursday, same time, same channel. And if you have any questions in the meantime, you can always email me at Denise at Inside Health Apps, and I'm happy to help answer some questions for you. Claire is also here. She's at Claire, I didn't.
Oh, it's actually Claire at Insight Health Apps as well. So
And then Connie is always monitoring the hub, so you can reach out. So it's been a pleasure, everybody, and have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.